Okay, so we're gonna watch a book for Earth Week, and it's called Me, Jane, and it's about Jane Goodall. And Nelka's here with me to watch it with us. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, and we're gonna watch it together. I'm gonna put myself in the corner. Okay, here we go.
Me, Jane. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. She cherished Jubilee and took him everywhere she went. And Jane loved to be outside. She watched birds making their nests. Spiders spinning their webs. And squirrels chasing one another up and down trees. Jane learned all that she could about the animals and plants she studied in her backyard and read about in books. One day, curious Jane wondered where eggs came from. So she and Jubilee snuck into Grandma Nut's chicken coop. Hid behind some straw. Stayed very still and observed the miracle. It was a magical world, full of joy and wonder, and Jane felt very much a part of it. Jane often climbed her favorite tree, which she named Beech. She would lay her cheek against its trunk and seem to feel the sap flowing beneath the bark. Jane could feel her own heart beating, beating, beating. With the wind in her hair, she read and reread the books about Tarzan of the Apes, in which another girl, also named Jane, lived in the jungles of Africa. Jane dreamed of a life in Africa too. A life living with and helping all animals. At night, Jane would tuck Jubilee into bed, say her prayers, and fall asleep. To awake one day to her dream come true.
All right, so we're going to also look at this book about the real Jane Goodall. Okay, so here it is. It's called Jane Goodall by Jody Shepard.
Meet Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall has the coolest job on earth. She gets to work outside. She travels all over the world. And, best of all, her co-workers are chimpanzees. For more than 50 years, Goodall has studied chimps. She has made amazing discoveries. And she has spent her life trying to protect these amazing animals in the wild. Jane Goodall was born on April 3rd, 1934, in London, England. When she was 5, her family moved to a town by the sea. Jane loved exploring outside. Even as a child, she loved animals. Jane's family had a chicken coop in their yard. Once, when she was young, Jane sat in the coop for 4 hours. She was waiting to see an egg hatch. Jane knew she wanted to work with animals someday. Jane also knew she wanted to travel to Africa. She had read about it in her favorite stories. At that time, it was very rare for a woman to travel to faraway places. After high school, Jane became a secretary. It was a way to earn money, but it was not Jane's dream. A dream come true. Then, when she was 23, something amazing happened to Goodall. Her high school friend had moved to Africa. She lived in a country called Kenya. The friend invited Goodall to visit. One of her dreams was coming true. Soon, Goodall met the famous scientist Dr. Louis Leakey. He was getting ready to start a study of chimpanzees. He gave Goodall a job as his secretary. Before long, Leaky noticed her interest in animals. He changed her job. Now Goodall's job would be to study chimpanzees. But first, Leaky needed to raise money to pay for his study. In the meantime, Goodall went back to England. She got a job at the London Zoo. Whenever she had time, she observed the zoo's chimpanzees. 2 years later, Goodall returned to Africa. Dr. Leakey got the money he needed. It was time for Goodall to start studying the chimpanzees. Her life's work was beginning. Living with chimps. At first, the chimps did not let Goodall get close. She had to observe them from a far-off hill. She started to use bananas to win over one chimp. He was a male she had named David Graybeard. The other chimpanzees saw that David trusted Goodall. They began to trust her too.
Oh no! Oh.
Goodall spent all of her time with the chimpanzees. She saw chimps using sticks to dig for termites. Before her discovery, people thought only humans used tools. Goodall also saw chimpanzees eating meat as well as plants. Scientists had always thought they were vegetarians. These discoveries made Goodall famous. Goodall's life was busy. She married a wildlife photographer, and they had a son. She also got a college degree and wrote a book. When her first marriage ended, Goodall married again. The whole time, she kept studying chimps. Making a difference. Goodall worked with chimpanzees for many years. She began to see that she needed to do more than study them. Chimpanzees are an endangered species. Goodall wanted to protect them. In 1977, she created the Jane Goodall Institute. Its goal is to study and protect chimpanzees and their habitat. In 1991, Goodall created a group just for children. It is called Roots and Shoots. Roots and Shoots teaches children to care for their environment, their communities, and animals. All around the world, its members are making a difference. Jane Goodall is in her 80s. She is still working hard for chimpanzees and for our planet. She says, every individual matters. Every individual has a role to play. Every individual makes a difference. And we have a choice. What sort of difference do we want to make?
The end. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to say I love you, and I miss you, and I wish you well. Bye.
Bye.